so dying. There we go. Jeez. Sorry, guys. I think the batteries in my mouse is starting to die because it took me like 4 tries to even click the video screen. We are back. We are live. I am doing some more Hogwarts to make up for missing the last few days of streaming. Everybody just went into a little funk, right? The February blues, as it is. I'm not alone. I have Basement with me. Connor may be joining us in a little bit. We'll see. How you doing, Basement?
I am alive. I'm getting beaten down by work, but I hope that changes next week and every subsequent week after that. I'm not really a morning person, and mornings are fucking obliterating my soul.
Yeah, I'm the same. I hated it when I got switched to full time at Harley, and they're like, "Yeah, now you got to be here at 7 in the morning." Fuck.
Yeah, I don't mind. Okay, I could work mornings if I am on mornings for like years.
Yes.
But if it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna work mornings for 2 weeks, and then you're gonna work afternoons, and then you might work nights, it's like, okay, well, come on, man.
If it's a consistent schedule, I get used to it. If it's like all over the fucking place, fuck you, I need sleep.
I'm with you on that. Jurgen, Boto, Alpha.
Yes, hello chat. How's everybody doing in the chat? Let's jump in. Isn't Hogwarts what you get after you screw... What was that? Screw a pig? No. That is swine pimples.
Swine flu.
So yeah, I got the chance to upgrade her gear a bit, as you see here.
She looks like a man now.
I know. But every piece of gear she was wearing now gives her a little attribute towards defense, stamina, and her abilities. So,
yeah. Boto's saying that he had to drive during the day. I'm assuming he's used to driving overnight, or in the night, or afternoon. Jurgen, I work overnight for 12 years. Like, yeah, you're gonna... If you ever go to days, you're gonna want to fucking kill yourself.
oh yeah.
What's up, big boy?
What's up, y'all?
Hi.
You got a hat.
I got a whole new wardrobe.
She looks like a boy now, right? That's like a big... She looks like a...
Them it's they?
She looks like a Make-A-Wish kid.
I got the gloves for winning 2 duels.
This is the newest one, Boto.
Yes, this is the one that was literally just released on the 9th.
I love how it's Harry Potter Make-A-Wish edition.
Essentially. Duncan
You
Hophouse.
wanted to speak with me?
I did.
Hello,
Hello, I'm Duncan Hophouse. Pleasure to meet you. I've
Sorry, a
heard
tad bit
all
late
about
there.
you, of course. Confronting
Not a problem.
trolls and dragons.
We just started, baby boy.
Having a long night, having ants in my pants.
I suppose it must seem that
Oh
way.
yeah.
I'm not sure it's
how'd you
justified.
like
It's
the movie?
often been a matter of circumstance.
I'm going
I-
to
I-
presume your
Regale
reputation
us
is
with
in
your
fact warranted.
experience.
In
Okay.
which case, you are
So-
precisely the person I need.
Burn
You
the
see,
theaters down.
We
No,
were
I'm kidding.
learning to repel boggarts in Professor Hecat's class.
I'm trying to
and
not spoil
well,
it, so
mine
bear with me. folks.
unfortunately took the shape of a puff ski.
I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate it. I think it's the best Ant-Man movie. And ironically, a big reason for that is because none of the Ant-Man family
Oh,
is
they
because
seem
of
innocent,
Jonathan
but their
Majors.
tongues can be
It's like, it goes
most
without saying that like
disturbing.
he fucking
Exactly.
crushes it as Kang.
I wish more of our
Well,
fellow
he
students
crushed it
agreed
as
with you.
Kang in fucking
Regardless
Loki,
of how
so
reasonable
I
I
expected
believe my
nothing
fear of
less.
puff schemes
Yeah.
to be,
Um,
I'm
I have a
beginning to
question
get a
for you. Do you
reputation
think
as a coward. Some
it
have even
needed to
taken
be
to
an
calling me
Ant-Man movie?
Puffskeen Dunkeen.
Yeah, that's a toughie. Need? Probably not. But I think if you're gonna introduce Kang like on a no pun intended small scale
sorry
like
to
this,
hear
rather
that.
than like
Words can be
fucking
cruel.
the dynasty.
Thank you. Poppy keeps offering to help me in
It's either him or
overcoming my
Strange.
fear, but I'm too afraid to take her up on it.
Because those are the only
Anyway,
two characters
to make matters
you know
worse,
what I mean? Those are the only two
I
characters
stupidly
that,
blurted
as
out
far as
that
I
I
know
must
right
be braver
now,
than people think, since I
would
have
have
been in the
any
hidden
sort of
herbology
semblance
corridor.
of understanding or
Hidden
knowing who he
herbology
is.
corridor?
Yes.
That
Rumour
being
has
said,
it that the
I think the
herbology
way they
professor
did this
before
movie
Professor Garlic kept
was
dangerous
solid.
plants there. It's
They made MODOK a
supposedly
bitch.
so
I'm just gonna say that
overrun now
right out
that
right
no
now.
one dares
Well, you
he is
did
a
get
fucking-
warning
he
of
is-
that.
I was hoping
He
you
is
could go there and
such
bring
a
back
bitch in this
evidence
movie.
that I could use to show that,
It's,
well,
and
I'd gone
they
in.
toned down the
Say
comedy
a bit of an
a
exceptionally
lot
dangerous plant of some
compared to
kind.
the other ones.
Like with the recent ones, because that's
Very
a saving
in the
grace
area,
in my
perhaps I
honest
shall
opinion.
I'm
Grand.
sorry, compared to the other
I'd very
Ant-Man
much
movies.
appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Come and find me if you get the proof.
I mean,
I shall be
it's-
forever in your debt.
It's weird. Like Ant-Man has always been like a small, like no pun intended, a small scale,
Yeah.
like hero that to be like the introductory to
Hidden
the
herbology
next
corridor.
phase.
Sounds
I
intriguing.
honestly wonder how
Revelio.
like if I was to watch Ant-Man 1, 2, and then this, if I would be like, is this the same movie?
Well,
franchise?
I'm trying to like for those of you who are ever curious, I'm trying to be as spoiler friendly as I can with this, so just bear with me if I'm trying to like choose my words carefully. I think that using Ant-Man was cool. I think that, like I said, the comedy has toned down a lot in comparison to the first two Ant-Man movies, where I know that was a big complaint for us, where it's like a shoved down every. I mean, obviously, I didn't mind it in the other Ant-Man movies. I'm a sucker for it, but I can certainly understand the complaint of like trying to shove a joke every 3 minutes. The comedy is still there, and that style of comedy is still there. They let important scenes be more important, and they let the serious moments be serious, and they let shit breathe more. So it's definitely better. It's in my opinion, it's infinitely better paced, and letting like the brevity of things happen, especially with like it helps having like the character that you have in this movie. But what I'll also say is that I'm trying to say the best way to say this. The movie does exactly what I expected it to do.
Incendio.
And it is a great mechanism to get you excited for what's coming down the pipeline.
The thing is it better as a movie or is it better as a trailer stretched out for 2 hours?
That's a good question.
I don't think it's just a trailer. I think it's a fun.
But what is it better at, setting up the future or actually being an entertaining movie?
To be honest with you, I think it actually is a pretty decent movie. Like it's not. Oh, did my screen? Everything just froze. You guys hear me?
Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
We can still hear you.
Cool. Just everything froze. I'm like, fuck. We've obviously talked on the round table like the biggest issues about like the balance between like them setting shit up and letting like the how the movie is. It's very it's relatively it's relatively cookie cutter in the story, which okay. It's pretty much what you get from the trailer. It's not that there's really any major twists or turns. The end credit scenes serve the purposes of setting shit up, which that's what they should do. Those do a better job of really like building up hype, and the movie is pretty much kind of well self-contained in the sense of like, you know, being a decent story. It's not great. There's a couple of hiccups, small hiccups here and there, but you know.
So I guess like the biggest question I have concerning it is,
yes,
after what I believe to be a pretty underwhelming Phase 4, is this enough of a step up to get you very optimistic for Phase 5, or just to be like, we might get a bit, maybe a tiny bit better than Phase 4, or we're gonna expect Phase 4 all over again?
No, this definitely changes the pace and changes the tone, especially like if you're talking about like individual movies. I would say it's probably in the realm of like I'm trying to be very careful here without pissing fans off or spoiling too much. I'd say it's above average. Like I said, it's better. It's better than a lot of. It's the best Ant-Man movie I think they've done. I think that's a safe bet to say because I'll be honest with you, Ant-Man and Wasp kind of bored me, and Ant-Man was just
Ant-Man was all right. I didn't mind Ant-Man too much. Ant-Man and the Wasp I thought was inferior to Ant-Man.
Oh, for sure.
The other question I had for you, because this was a big concern of mine after seeing the trailer, is it like a green screen movie?
Not really. No, not really. I didn't.
When I say green screen, it's not that like they're using green screen. It's just like the green screen is distracting.
Oh
like,
God, no.
The prequels for Star Wars.
No. The big, honestly, the big thing that sucked me in more than anything, and again, I'm going to be beating a dead horse here and stating the duh, is Jonathan Majors. He commands your attention, and it's funny because like the performance is not like again. You look at the trailers, you can kind of get the idea of what his performance is like. And he does express a range of emotions, but there's something about the way he like quietly commands your attention every time he's there is just fascinating to me. And obviously compared to how he was in Loki with He Who Remains, it's gonna be very very fun to see what happens with him.
He was the thing is, like, I'm comparing, like, I watched the, like, Creed, there's a couple Creed trailers, right? And I look at him there.
That looks fucking amazing.
And, like, he's, like, I'm not going to use the word scary, but intimidating is, I think, the right word in the trailers, at least.
Yeah.
It comes off as, like, you know, quietly intimidating. And I figured that's kind of what you were going to get with Kang. However, when you watched, when we watched Loki, that's not really what I got, because that was, like, the good version of him, I guess. Yep. The best version you could hope for.
You get a little bit more of setup, which I appreciate. Actually, all right, I'm gonna try to be very very careful here with how I try not to spoil shit for people. So bear with me. This movie set obviously we know where we're going with everything with like Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, right? That's like fucking no-brainer. This movie does help to start a trickle effect to set up what's going to eventually happen in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Like that's, you know, duh. But it did it in a way that I wasn't expecting.
Incendio.
That's a safe bet.
The thing is, like,
fucking everything.
For me now, like when I'm gonna watch it, I think I'm gonna have like tempered expectations.
I think
I really hate when, like me personally, when like movies are like, people are like, oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen, and then I watch it and it's like,
no.
You should reserve that for like maybe 20 movies ever made.
In my opinion, and again, take this for whatever the fuck it's worth, it's better than the last 3 Marvel movies we've had.
That's not hard.
That's
good. That's good though.
It's a safe bet. I think out of it's better than Thor. It's better than.
I think Thor was terrible. Thor was one of the worst movies I've seen.
Better than Black Panther and better than.
Perhaps it doesn't care for light. Lumos.
Black Panther. The thing is, like, though I didn't find it entertaining, there's a level of it that I respected for it not being like the prototypical quip a minute bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they let like certain emotional beats happen.
Yeah. Bodo, yes, I am a glue fan. Beating that glue. I just caught up with the chat. I'm like, Jesus, I missed a lot in fucking 10 minutes. No, but I think that like this is the point I was trying to get to. Phase 4 movies were all over the fucking place. I'll be the first one to admit that in terms of like not just creatively, but like the quality of them. And I have heard that Marvel is going to be scaling back like how much they release and how often, which thank God. For my own sanity, Pepe Sylvia. But I feel like this movie gave me optimistic. It made me optimistic at the idea of like okay, if they slow shit down now,
Seems
it gives
the
them a
devil's
chance to maybe,
snare is
you know,
protecting a
fine-tune the
chest
writing
line.
process. Because again, the movie's not fucking perfect. But I feel like it is a step in the right direction for overall story writing quality for the Marvel movies.
I think a lot of like
That's-
Marvel fan base, or at least like people that are not
That's what
necessarily
you say.
not necessarily fans of the source material, but fans of the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
They have been eagerly waiting for a movie to kind of break the mold of being middling. And I have a feeling this is probably not the movie that does that. I have a feeling it's probably like what you're saying is a bit above average, but it's not going to blow your socks off, right?
Yeah.
The one movie that needs to do this, because it's been middling for quite some time, it needs to happen soon, and if it's not this movie, then it has to be Guardians 3. Otherwise, I don't know, man. It's like if Guardians 3 comes out and it's like, oh, it was okay, it's like then the way I look at like Marvel is this. Instead of like standard of Marvel movies being 7 to 8 out of 10s, it's gonna go down to fucking 4s and 5s, and
I
that's
imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery.
Be a slow death.
Guardians looks like the more they're pushing it, it's more looking at the fact of like, bring fucking tissues, we're gonna shit in your heart and break it. That's it. That's pretty much the tone I'm getting for, because they are pushing like they've said there's no bones about it. Like, this is the last iteration, at least this is the last iteration of this version of Guardians, and they're doing a lot of like heavy emotional storytelling, which for all intents and purposes, no fucking shit they should.
I mean, I'll be happy with it as a standalone, but like also there's that that thing that Marvel prides itself on as being, you know, not only can we make a good movie, but the movie has to progress the agenda of Marvel. So I don't know if I'm more thinking Guardians will kind of be like the end of the story for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Not so much having a lot to do with the progression of the MCU universe.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know. That's just what I like. That's what I would think.
Well, that's what kind of was refreshingly surprising about this Ant-Man movie, was like, the movies should stand on their own, reference some things here and there, obviously, but should be able to, for the most part, stand decently on its own. And then the end credits do what they're supposed to do and hype you up for the next shit based off of what happened in this movie, right? Like, Multiverse of Madness did a fucking horrendous job at that. It was the almost other way around.
Well, Multiverse of Madness, like, literally just retread ground it already covered. Stupidly.
Oh yeah.
Didn't really introduce, like, the character introduced was a tool and wasn't a character at all.
That was about it. And an eye on your forehead.
Which looked horrible.
I know. But no, like, what surprised me the most was like how, like, self-contained it was, the Ant-Man movie, how self-contained it was. Like I said, to the point where, like, I thought it was a decent movie, kind of little formulaic in some ways, not as, it's so weird, and obviously we'll talk about the spoilers in the DMs, but it was both epic yet not.
Well, like, I mean, I'm waiting for that movie that not necessarily breaks the mold, but elevates the mold. And like, this is the thing. A lot of people had that in No Way Home. For me, that wasn't it. So I've literally been waiting since fucking Endgame.
Yeah.
For what, like
for
a
movie.
For a movie
that just like is better than average. Like, I mean, a lot of people will say No Way Home. Yeah, it's better than average. I'm like, as a movie, it's not. As nostalgia fucking porn, it's 10 out of 10. But as a movie, it's not really there. And Infinity War Endgame really elevated. And the movies that came prior to that were better than the movies that came post that. And my worry lies in the fact that all of the characters that we came to love are kind of gone and replaced with a worse version of what they were. that's gonna be such an uphill battle. They really need to like ace something, and it has to like be one of those things where you watch Guardian, like when we first saw Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like, you know what, that's just something a bit different than the mold that they had, and they just hit a home run with it. They need to recapture the magic instead of just spewing
James Gunn's out the door.
Yeah, spewing out the same fucking shit over and over and over again. Like at this point in time, it's hard to tell a difference between the movies that they make.
Which is no, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. You know what's funny? I was kind of hoping Thor: Love and Thunder would be kind of
that one. First of all, it was the Doctor Strange movie. That killed me, and then I was like, Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm looking forward to that. That destroyed me because that was like really bad in my opinion. Like after that, I was like, man, this got to be like something to bring me back. And like
wake me up.
There's been very little of that.
From what you're saying is the movie is better than better than what came before. Not really. Not really.
Well,
you're gonna make me. If there's things I like about it, like, and I had a feeling it was gonna be Kang, Jonathan Majors is gonna be that, but it I don't know. Well, I'll have to see for myself.
Right.
The end credit scenes are interesting. Like I said, they're just basically like, fucking can't get any more direct setup of what's coming than that. But like I said, the humor, like the humor of like the thank you Spider-Man and just like that, like kind of like goofiness is still there. But when they're in the quantum realm, the humor is very it's not subdued. It's still there, but it's just definitely not as sporadic. And I think a big part of that is because, like I said, Jonathan Majors is just such a good like sterile, like direct villain, for lack of a better word.
How long is the movie?
I think we just clocked it a little over 2 hours.
Okay, good.
Around the 2 hour mark. Let me just see here.
Good. It's not.
Yeah, Bodo, I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four too. I'm kind of fingers
I worry
crossed.
about Fantastic Four.
Hello.
Because they are very basic characters.
Pardon me if I seem a little distracted at the moment.
What I heard though is that they're looking to
I'm
cast Sue
balmy.
Storm first soon.
Samantha thinks I'm
and
potty.
then they will.
But it's this painting.
Base that character.
I hope it's not another fucking
Hogwarts,
female.
And I do. An empty
2
frame doesn't
2 hours
appear
and
for
5
no
minutes.
reason. There's something more to this.
If they made like 15 projects, 10 of them were to promote a female version.
If I have the time,
I will say this, and this is the first time I've ever seen this happen.
I've been racking my brains long enough.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, one of Ant-Man and the Wasp
Quantumania's
end credit scenes hypes up a Disney show.
If you stumble on something illuminating that solves the mystery.
Like a Marvel Disney show?
Must be a clue.
no, a Pixar one.
Well,
I mean, shit. At this point, multiverse. Yes, a Marvel.
Yeah.
I want the
like
Marvel
the location
Cinematic
from the
Universe to end with Mickey Mouse
so
as the
special
final
about it?
fucking enemy.
Yeah, they don't
and
sneak a fucking Mickey Mouse Easter egg when like shit's hitting the fan with like the multiverse collapsing. It's a missed opportunity, man.
Just make him be the one that ends the entire thing. Oh! Snap my fingers, Minnie!
And
you can't stop me!
Good luck, pal! Ha! Oh, toodles! Oh my god. Michelle Pfeiffer also fucking crushes in her role, too.
It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have like good luck with the fact that they have such a talented cast. But again, Marvel gets like great cast members, and it's just like the writing is fucking ass blood.
Let's get you back to your frame, little more.
It's like I said, I thought it was better this time around. It's funny, Douglas kind of took a back seat, but not horrible. Yeah, that's a way to describe it.
I knew there was a connection. I should tell Lenora.
I love how like the
puzzle
fedora makes you look like you're trying to be sneaky when you're clearly fucking not being sneaky.
Right?
I'm doing this right in front of 30 fucking people. I'll if you have any like spoiler
I solved
questions,
the mystery of that
I don't look
painting.
like a homeless person.
Did? How?
any spoiler questions, hit me up in the DMs.
Spoil it right now. I want to know
found the
everything that happens.
Everyone dies.
Every
Then I cast
minute, every
Lumos to guide
second.
him
Tell
off
it
back
now.
to the
Everybody
frame. All very
dies.
logical, I suppose.
Pity I was
That's his
so
spoiler.
close to solving it.
That's my dad's too.
You
It
have
was
a
always
knack
like,
for
you want to know?
solving
It's like, you want to hear
Matt's
how
as good
everyone
at that
dies?
too.
It's like, fuck,
So
shut
is
up.
Meat, although he does tend to
Guys, we
over-explain.
matched today.
Well, I'm glad someone figured
You know what,
it out.
Boto? I kind of agree with you. I would have liked to see Marvel
I should
actually.
have seen that.
I would have liked to see them pair more with Netflix. To be
Yeah.
honest, the Netflix did right by them, and they were like, "Nope, big money." Huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like the double-edged sword of like,
Incendio.
okay, we have a major conglomerate behind us, so it's like, all right, cool, we have all this money to do all this
But they have
crazy
to.
shit.
They have to
then-
appease the fucking overlord.
Yeah.
We gotta have easily cut out lesbian scenes and gay
I took
scenes,
out-
and
I took
we
over
have
the-
to end up in China at some point.
I took over the world with 3 circles. Oh,
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Da-na-na.
I haven't seen it.
That's what Trek was saying.
I
Or
never
he's-
seen the original, so
If there's no, I haven't seen any.
Wait for it.
have you found anything to prove my bravery?
Hello, Duncan. I have the proof
What
you
would the
wanted.
agenda be?
That's
Go to
one
court
leaf.
at night.
Must have
Date
been a
court.
giant venomous tentacula.
It's
It's even more than I expected.
it's Harry
I knew
Potter's
you were the one to ask.
disowned cousin,
I appreciate you getting
Duncan
it for me.
dipshit.
Skeevy pothead.
Would you like to
Of
buy some
course.
weed?
I hope this
Bro.
helps you
Ah,
prove yourself.
My skin
This is
itches.
sure to put an end to Puff's
I've got the AIDS, I do.
When I show everyone in the
True.
common room tonight,
Scratching
this will show
constantly with a
everyone how
wand.
ridiculous that nickname was.
But the
Thank
wand's
you
got a
again,
white tip
and
to
have
it
a
for some
good
reason
day.
because of Coke.
I know I will. Thank you for
Said, I
all
don't
of your
care.
help.
Duncan
No
Hobhouse.
more Puffskein dunking for me.
It was a game.
I love just the fact that like JP and Heather get quiet and JP clearly is squinting and leaning in, and I just hear blah blah blah. Seaman.
Yes, I am a Seaman. Hear me roar.
I just love. By the way, shit ton of
Game.
shit ton of promotional material for Cocaine Bear at the theater.
Oh yes.
You know what?
I
I'm partially like. I hope it's good, but I
Not
know who.
retarded.
I think I'm pretty sure who directed it, and I have my hopes have kind of been dashed.
I mean, it's bear with cocaine. It's
I know.
it sells itself to me, personally. It's Ray Liotta's last movie, which what a legacy.
I would like to see it too.
I mean, what a legacy in terms of like, I can't believe that's his last film.
Stay safe.
Never.
Never. Ah, damn it.
See you tomorrow. maybe?
HGGM. HGGM.
It's Elizabeth Banks, the director.
I have to see
She
what else she's done.
hasn't. None of it's been good.
Bank on it.
She directed one episode of The Boys, probably the worst one. No, she
Hold on, let me look this up.
no, she was sorry, she acted in one episode of The Boys. She directed Charlie's Angels, the new one.
Oh God
Terrible.
in
That
heaven,
explains it all.
fucking no.
It's perfect too. Movie 43, which was terrible.
Wait, Elizabeth Banks, the actress.
Yes.
Yes.
She what the fuck?
Yes, she's the director.
Oh yeah,
She
she did
directed
Zack and Mary
Cocaine
Made
Bear,
a Porno. Zack and Mary
which-
Made a Porno wasn't horrible.
I'm just looking at her director, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm just looking at generic movies. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's see what the fuck she directed.
All of them were bad.
What the fuck? No, that's just... there we go. Acting roles. Acting. She directed 2 short films. Yeah, so you said Pitch Perfect, Charlie's Angels, and Cocaine Bear. That's it. Oh, she was producer, though, on a lot of stuff. Okay. All right. I'm still going to watch it because of the ridiculousness.
I am too. But I like my expectations have kind of been like.
Are we?
It's
okay.
a good thing though. It's a good thing.
Are you
Because if I
really?
think it might not be as good.
Are you really going to the
You'll
movie
be
called
pleased to know
Cocaine
that I
Bear? Be
worked
like,
on my
wow, can't
defensive
wait for this
magic with
in-depth,
Professor
riveting
Hex.
story.
So I hear.
Well,
She
no,
tells me
but
you've taken rather
okay,
well.
the
to
rest
the
of her
business.
directorial
You
debuts were
must
like
continue
fucking
to work with
horrible
her
shit.
and your other
I'm just
professors
saying.
to
And this is
improve
still
your
a
skills.
comedy, and she
That said,
just has proven herself
I
to
don't wish
be
to postpone our visit
not
to the library
funny
any
as a
longer.
director. So this is my problem.
So,
You
shall
see.
we proceed?
Well, I'm just
Fig!
saying that
I'm
it's-
I have work
optimistic,
for you.
but
Come.
I'm also like.
Hey,
I'll be
Time
crestfallen
to my
if it
schedule.
bombs
Your schedule
because it's
will
like
wait
it's like you don't even really
indefinitely,
need
as will
it
your
fucking
student.
writes itself.
I would think
Yeah,
that
maybe we
after
should,
all the
like,
trouble
just,
you
like,
caused me with
take a
Osric, you'd
back
be
seat
eager
and
to
just
make amends.
Focus on like camera angles.
My
and shit.
office. 5 minutes.
Need to zoom in on this. What did you change hats?
I
That's
did.
a man. Oh, that's us.
Man
Never
is
mind.
exasperating.
Us, we, you,
Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait
Are you
a bit longer.
misgendering
But
them?
Professor,
We have no
Yes.
choice. It would be
yeah,
unwise to provoke our
I also
enjoy
put on a
them.
cape
Further.
instead of having the school robes on.
I shall find you when
My,
I've
my son wanted
completed whatever toils
they have
I
like
must
at AMC
endure.
they have customized popcorn buckets for the movies, and it was the Ant-Man helmet, and he's like, I want my. I'm like, you've gotten the last 3, you're not getting this one. Come on, I'm like, no,
Did you do
But
it?
I want it, Daddy.
no, I bought it for myself.
You
Yeah,
fucking
of course.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't.
No,
Because I'm like the
dude,
Guardians one. If I'm gonna buy one this year, it's gonna be the fucking Guardians one, because that one's probably gonna be fucking amazing looking.
Oh God, yeah, it's gonna be the last one. So.
Sebastian mentioned
When
sneaking into the
Guardians
restricted
Leviosa.
section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
When Guardians are Flosa.
Is there an arrow?
Yeah, I'm tired. Going to the movies makes me tired.
I
It
woke
makes
up
a lot of
from
people
fucking
tired.
Retard sleep.
Oh, did the Odin sleep?
It wasn't like I felt like I was retarded when I woke up.
Was it all the dinosaurs fear the T-Rex?
Oh no, my T-Rex is done.
Oi,
Ah.
I am
can
full
you
armed
help
now.
me?
Who the fuck said that? Oh,
Arthur
no.
pummel me.
Plumley.
Hello, were you calling me?
I was, yes. Thought you might
come
be
on, I wanna
interested
wizard
in
with the
joining
lisp.
me
Is that
for a
bad?
bit of an adventure.
Where's
Following
the
a
Down
treasure
syndrome
map to
class?
be precise.
Basement.
Slight respite from battling the odd troll, I should think.
I'm not calling your name. I'm
Asked
telling you
Poppy
what
if
it
she'd
would
be interested as well, but couldn't drag her away from her puff scheme. I found 2 maps lying about, both leading to locations
The
around
sun doesn't
Hogwarts.
shine down
Care
here.
to have a look at one?
Trolls.
May I
Am
get
a
to see the
Hogwarts treasure
sunlight?
map? Count me in.
Wonderful.
you had your 2 hours
Hogwarts
at Christmas.
fascinates me. You can keep whatever
I
treasure
bet it
lies at the end of your
fascinates you.
map. I'll be satisfied just knowing where it leads.
I'm Sir Topham Hat.
Very well. I
No,
shall
you're
take a
the
look
fat,
if I can find the
fat
time.
controller.
Fair enough. Meet me back here if you find anything.
That cracks me up every time I'm able to weave that into a conversation.
Controller.
Fat
Yeah,
controller
you gotta
on your slime.
finger a painting,
Yep.
That's Accio.
and you gotta fuck that dog that you made dance.
Tickle its balls apparently from that hand gesture.
It's a skeleton, but do it anyway.
As I say, that's not gonna stop me.
I don't know.
Challenge
Transformers.
accepted.
One of
Challenge
those
accepted.
Transformers had balls. I remember that movie.
Dun, 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 balls.
Okay.
Revelio.
There's nothing to Revelio.
No.
Pyromaniaco.
Light myself on fire.
Professor, do you have time to chat?
I always
take
have
a
time
piss,
for
I'll be
my
right back.
students. How may I help you?
Burn. Speaking of which, I gotta piss.
Never mind.
Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time.
Of course.
What were you doing, like squatting in the corner facing away? I have questions, Professor. Questions.
Wait.
Bodo, I legitimately like considered, because the amount of fucking popcorn me and my son go through, I was literally thinking of like bringing that butter spray,
Yeah.
because it never gets into the fucking like crevices of where we want it to. Or if we do, we have to literally spend 15 fucking minutes at the little tiny piss ass station where it's like it's almost like a fucking syringe style of like stream of butter. It's like the most smallest thing. It's like fuck that. And yeah, I didn't want to get the tin button, the popcorn tin this time, just because Was it? Well, it didn't look interesting to me. They at AMC they do it for every Marvel movie.
I remember wanting like getting popcorn in movies and like being like, okay, well you get the butter dispenser, right? And you go to do it, and it's like,
yep,
it only hits the top, but like you're like, okay, I'm gonna like keep going, and like you want to get it throughout the entire popcorn. But then you get into the theater and the fucking top is cold as shit.
Yeah.
All the butter is like, all the top layer of popcorn and butter is just like
soggy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what you need is like you need a second bucket to pour half the popcorn in, butter them, mix them around like a fucking salad, and then put it back into one. That's really but like that. I was actually. This is fucking how sad and fat I am that I actually spent 5 minutes while waiting in line at the theater, and I actually contemplated. I'm like, that would probably be the best, most effective way to butter the popcorn.
But it's so true, man. Like you either end up with like the like halfway through it just being popcorn with no taste, or you end up with soggy as fucking shit popcorn. Yeah. And the bottom half is okay.
Did you bring a butter stick with you? Fucking A, bro.
George Foreman grill? Why not?
You know, I kind of want to see what I could. I've seen someone legit bring in a rotisserie chicken, and I don't mean like a pieces. I mean like the fucking like the container it came in, and I'm like, that is a level of commitment and drive that I appreciate. And I'm like, makes me want to see what kind of shit I could probably get away with getting into the theater. Oh God. Anyway, back to Harry Potter.
Damn.
I'm trying to find where I need to go, but...
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Okay, your honest opinion right now, do you think Marvel will fuck up the X-Men?
Yes.
If you were a betting man, would you go
his reputation to
more with it either being mediocre or bad, or it being above average to good?
I would say it depends on the character.
Well, I was just looking at like Marvel's track record.
That's what I mean. So the thing is that like bigger picture is that Marvel had, when this whole shit started with them like splitting up their properties and stuff, they were able to garner interest even before Disney popped in. They were able to garner interest and a following off of like their lesser known characters on a bigger scale. Like, yes, people who knew Iron Man and who Captain America was and Hulk and all that, but they were able to like really garner a fan base towards, let's face it, at the time, lesser known heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But now they practically have all the fucking heroes under their umbrella. With Spider-Man, obviously, they're still on.
They're also focusing on lesser known at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, Avengers has happened, Endgame. Cap's a new Cap, and Iron Man's gone. So now you're like spreading this web of like, holy shit, we're like going into like the deep crevices of like, let's do Ironheart, let's do Moon Knight, let's do Shang-Chi. Like now you're talking like, you know, no disrespect, really fucking obscure like characters that not a lot of people knew about. Sometimes they work, like in Shang-Chi. Sometimes they don't work. So my worry is that when it gets to X-Men, it like they're gonna milk those obscure characters as much as humanly possible, because I mean shit, we got 3 Ant-Man movies.
Well, I mean, what we're looking at with X-Men is a property that's already been shown several times. And Marvel has kind of lost its luster to do things different than the formula they've developed. So I'm honestly, if I was a betting man, I'd say the X-Men are going to be a 5 out of 10, which is sucks, but like I've got so much reason to believe that.
It really boils down to where things are going to stand at the end of Secret Wars. That, and I know it's kind of like a duh, but it really does matter.
But like I'm looking at the characters. The characters are overexposed already. The X-Men characters.
Mm-hmm.
There is going to be a interest just because hey, X-Men MCU. But if it's not, it's so hard to get right because it has to feel unique, and it's already so overexposed, and they've already introduced Oh, mutants. You know, they've already introduced that. So even that like hit to the universe is already gonna be there.
That's kind of why I was surprised that they referenced mutants in Miss Marvel. I mean,
Especially
Namor is a
with,
fucking duh, but like.
Yeah, but it's like such a, like projects that were kind of like dog shit. Like, I mean, not dog. Okay, Miss Marvel's not dog shit. It's just.
It's not for you.
No, and it's not for a lot of the fan base.
I agree.
And they knew it. That's why they released it at the same time as fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I don't. I'm more. I agree with you. I think it's like right now, it's leaning more towards mediocre because it's like.
There's the fountain.
I don't know. It's there's so much like there's such a shift right now with all this shit going on.
Brilliant.
Some of it's exciting.
The only way it'll work is if it's a completely different take. Wolverine featuring the X-Men again, it's gonna be fucking.
Well, that's what I kind of
annoying.
Assumed it would be, is that it would be like the lesser two. Actually, you know what really sucks? You know who ironically would have been great to handle a reboot of the X-Men in the MCU?
The person that left.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know. James Gunn is like, I don't want the X-Men to be comedy. It doesn't actually fit very well with X-Men source material for them to be quipping all the time. Like, this is almost why I think they don't actually fit too well in the MCU universe, or at least
I'm Nelly,
the cinematic universe.
I'm just
like,
they will.
The Dueling keys
man,
about.
it's gonna be common. Like, most of the fucking X-Men storyline is like it mirrors like the terrible events in human history.
So that's okay. So that's the bigger thing here is like if they're gonna really go on the offensive of like the trope of mutants versus humans, it's really going to be a hard sell because you've already established a shit ton of like metahumans, for lack of a better word,
you can manage to get the key into the
that are publicly known.
Not an easy task.
And it's like, well,
you may find
okay, are you gonna lump? Is it gonna be now if you change that and you lumped it all to superhero, like super powered beings?
In fact, I think
we
I
had the fucking Accords.
Tower. You should
just do that again, apparently.
Well, no, but I'm saying is on a public scale, not like a government sanctioned thing, but more like public outcry. Then you might be able to pull some more stuff up and make it a little bit more closer to the mutant prejudice storyline.
That thing worked. The prejudice thing worked because the mutants were few and far between. But now in this universe, it's not just mutants. You have superpowered people left, right, and center. So there's more superpowered people than there are regular people.
Right, that's my point, is that if you're able to flip the script, if you're able to like twist it like that, I might be more inclined to buy it.
I can't see them pulling off that, and I can't. This is like specifically the MCU, especially with the way they've been. I cannot see them pulling off the mutants are treated like fucking Jews and German Nazi.
Yeah. No, yes. I
can't see them doing that, and that's like, that's so much of the intrigue of the actual storyline. So you take that away, and then you just get the artificial surface level shit. I mean, you can get the individual struggle, like with Wolverine living for forever and being like, oh, I have to watch people die and all that shit. You can get that, but like the overarching storyline that affects every mutant and affects like the ideals that both Professor X and Magneto have, you're not gonna get. I just I don't see them doing it, and then what is it gonna be about? You know.
I think when you said like you don't see it fitting well in the MCU, I think you're right, and it's gonna. I mean, the MCU has done. Obviously, we've talked about this before on the roundtable ad nauseum. They've done variations and deviations from source material that sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Specifically, I point to the 10 Rings as being, I think, a very fucking clever way of being able to do their own version of something and make it fit into the mold of what they're looking to do.
I kind of wish they did that more.
Agreed.
And I get I feel okay. So, for instance, I'm watching The Last of Us, and I like the episodes that deviate from the source material a bit more than the ones that just copy and paste it. Because I already have the game, and I already have the fucking comic books, you know? Like, anybody that just wants to, like, see a live-action version of that, it's so copy and paste that you don't get any other take on it. Just read the books again. Read the comics. But I want to see it on TV.
I am actually reading Secret Wars right now.
I feel like paying homage to something is better than copy and pasting it to the live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for people that know the source material really well, it's like I'd like to see like expanding on that material, giving us a bit more, giving us a slightly different take, not completely destroying it like the Resident Evil movies.
Plus, it's not. Oh god, don't even fucking. But it's also like you can if you're a good enough director and writer, you have more and you have the knowledge base behind of that story or fandom, whatever you want to call it. You should be able to naturally weave your own.
Wonder where
web.
it would lead me.
It's not even like changing it. It's just elaborating on what already exists, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but no, X-Men. I can very clearly see and very clearly understand your worry about it. I'm not blind to that. What I'm hoping is that it's a slow burn, because realistically, I'm gonna just say this straight up. There is not. Secret Wars is a fucking clusterfuck. I know this from reading it, and I'm just telling you. Even if they just do a fraction of the source material, your head's gonna fucking explode because of just how like in utter fucking sane it gets.
Do you think that's like the transition to like that? Like I know how like wild fucking comic books and certain source material can get, and transitioning it to like a live, like a fucking movie, to that type of environment, some things just get too convoluted.
I'm surprised it's not 2 parts. I'll be very honest. I'm surprised it's not 2 parts.
I'm thinking, this is like, in all honesty, if Phase 5 is Phase 4 all over again.
I don't think it will be, but yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, anybody that's never seen fucking any form of movies, the more ridiculous they get, the more like, hey, when things start to not make sense,
Off on another
people's
adventure,
the stakes disappear and people stop caring.
Yeah.
Which is why I enjoyed the Ant-Man movie.
There's the cabinet.
Because
How do I get this key in there?
On a smaller scale, showed why Kang is a concern. Like, when you saw He Who Remains at the end of Loki, and he explained everything, and we obviously in hindsight now know like, oh, that's where things are going. Did you like kind of like oh whoa, there's a little bit of the setup of like, oh okay, like this is, you didn't obviously feel the weight, the brevity, because he's just telling you these things, right?
Right.
You get a little bit more in Ant-Man 3.
Well, I have a question about the movie.
No. Yeah, what's up?
No, you can finish what you're saying.
No. That's well. My point was just that they're handling the reveal of the next major villain very wisely, in the sense of slowly giving you a reason to like be like, hey, this guy's gonna fuck your shit up, and here's why. But go ahead.
Is Marvel finally getting back to showing and not telling? In terms of like how they show, how you don't just tell me the things somebody's done, show me the things somebody's done. Like there's they need to do that, otherwise I don't give a flying fuck.
Okay, so I think this is going into, I think this is a safe thing to say, because it kind of killed the cat, because it kind of is revealed in the trailers, so I think it's safe for me to talk about this. But in the movie, it's revealed that basically Janet Van Dyne meets Kang in the quantum realm while she's there, when she's trapped there. And there's an interaction between the two of them that it does a little bit of both. It's a little bit of show, a little bit of tell, but I in my opinion, it's a much better example of showing than telling. It's still a little tell, but definitely not.
Okay, so is it anything like what they did with the God Butcher, where they didn't show him butchering any gods?
Were you able to follow
and was just like, oh, you should be afraid of this guy because everything he did was off screen.
No.
What did you find in the cabinet? A curious token of some
how do I
Looks like some sort of house
navigate
token.
this without
I bet
getting
it
too much
unlocks
into
house
spoiler
chests.
territory?
I call them house chests.
She
I've seen
doesn't
the one
know
in
who he
Gryffindor
is
and
at
heard
first.
They're also in the other common rooms as well. Keep
But
an eye
she
out.
finds out
I do
who
hope
he
you
is
continue on. For so
by
much effort, the prize must be something
seeing
grand.
what he's done.
I should see this through and find the Ravenclaw
And they
house
show
chest.
visuals, albeit briefly, of what
As long as there's something there, you know what I mean?
what
like,
what he's done.
Because that was my biggest gripe with fucking God Butcher. It was like such a
Yeah,
cool
that
character, such a cool
pissed me
idea,
off.
but like we never got to see any of him.
Yeah.
Instead, we got to see 99% of fucking Taika Waititi as a rock man.
I did. There was a. I think it's also online too. There's a fun little scene where he goes, "Are you Avenger?" Like, no. He goes, "Have I killed you before?" What? He goes, "Sorry, they all blur together." Are you the one with the hammer? And he goes like, "No, that's
Lumos.
that's Thor. It's easy to get confused. We have a similar body type. Who are you?" Like standard Paul Rudd humor, but definitely a lot less of it than this time, than in the previous movies. But yeah,
I
no,
almost feel like the Ant-Man, like the comedy in Ant-Man though was a bit more welcome because of like
Paul Rudd.
not even that, like the overall like feel of the movie lent itself to it, just like Guardians of the Galaxy kind of lends itself to comedy. It doesn't fit in Thor: Love and Thunder when a girl's dying of stage 4 cancer and everyone's like, let's cut to a scene where everybody's laughing randomly.
Yeah. That's I'll put it this way, like there's no that Paul Rudd like Ant-Man humor that I just described is never during a scene with Kang in it. Never. To my knowledge, it never happens in a scene featuring Kang.
But this is also like when I look at like I'm hoping Kang, like they keep saying he's the next Avengers level threat. I'm gonna compare him to Thanos, and in Thanos' point, like a lot of the time, yes, there was word on the street was he's fucking badass, right? And then you get to see in a flashback where his 50% killing 50% of the population, they actually showed that happening. That's needed. Like I need to see the bad guy doing what the bad guy does in order for me to believe the bad guy is a threat.
They show that in this movie.
And I'm okay if it's not like over like they like fully spill the beans because he's the bad guy for Phase 5 and Phase 5 has a lot of fucking movies in it. So
I'll say this too.
You can't just like blow your load all in the first one.
Well, not just that. We're getting into some very easily confusable dialogue and storylines here with the concept of multiverse.
Quite a few by the look of it.
Because, I love math in my stories. It's like a fucking giant word problem sometimes, and those are, neck snapping fun. So I actually think it's a blessing in disguise for them to do it this way because it's forcing their hand to slowly introduce this villain more because they know that when they get to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, it's like, all right, let's pump that treadmill up to fucking 50 and let's fucking go. Like kind of like what they did with Infinity War. Where it's like, we knew this. I mean, granted, and I agree with Baseman when he said in the roundtable that Infinity War is Thanos' movie, 110%. But like that's why we didn't spend time on the characters because you didn't need to. Because it was just like boom, bada 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 boom. Because that was the whole fucking point of the project, So I think that like knowing that now and knowing that it's like not just it's just Kang, this like fucking badass guy. But understanding why he's such an important, because he's human, and that's the part that fascinates me the most about him overall. Is that it's like he's not an alien, he's not a god, he is a fucking human being that has these amazing, terrible powers. He's basically Space Hitler, is the best way to describe it. He is Space Hitler, future Space Hitler. Excuse me, gotta get my dialogue right here. And so you're now getting into like the conversation of quantum mechanics and quantum physics, time travel, time dilation, time manipulation, timelines, theories, multiverses. It can get very fucking complicated relatively easy versus Big Purple Grimace with stones wants to kill everyone.
How clever.
I would also
Mine
say
led to the
like
boathouse.
Barely found the treasure before I saw the headmaster come in.
I'm more excited about with Kang is the
there,
fact
but
that he's going to
before I
be
got a few
present
galleons richer.
throughout
What
the
did you find?
phase of
I found
phase
what I
5
believe is an
instead of
authentic
being like,
historian's uniform.
oh, here's
Oh,
Thanos
that's
sitting on a chair
lucky.
for 99%
Seems
of the
as though
time.
we both had success.
Well, that's why I
Glad
like
I
this
enlisted
movie.
you to join me.
Because, yeah, you can clearly
Well,
see that Kang
on
is
to
not
the
sitting on
next
his ass the
Hogwarts
entire
mystery.
time. They don't.
Wonder if a quick rummage round Weasley's
They don't go into
office might yield
everything,
anything in?
but they go into enough that it just like again, it's another little bit of a layer on top of like I thought the He Who Remains introduction was smart. It was very clever. It was a way of like just like opening up the dialogue of like, hey, here's me, and this is why you got to be careful. And then the Pandora's box gets open. We don't really see the ramifications right away of like, why should I be worried? This movie does exactly what I predicted and hoped it did, was this is why you should be worried.
And both talking about Marvel and being woke and the wokeness. This is like honestly the audience, and I think I can speak for most people. Audiences have caught on to like when they infuse something for that sake, and they've got a bit like better at doing that. But this is what, but when we watched Wakanda Forever, it frustrated Riri's character frustrated me because a lot of it was like a lot of her lines were focused on race, and I was like, nobody else is even talking about that shit. And this is very obviously like an insert to be like, because of her race, she's had a tougher time. But what you're showing me is the exact opposite of that. So it's just hollow. That was hollow for me, and that's why I kind of really hated when she was like, "Oh, yeah, black girl in school," or whatever the fuck she said. It's like, man, you own a fucking garage and a spacesuit. Like, come on, you're not really like lower class here or whatever, right? It just didn't ring true to me.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
They've gotten like
I've never even met him. Perhaps he
they still like are kind of there,
so.
but I think media as a whole is moving away from being like,
some point. You might
I must infuse this with like everything that
I need to find something for Professor Fig.
Like the new age culture is saying we have to love and accept.
He can't get it himself
because it's just
pulled away
losing
by
the
Black
money.
At the last moment.
In all honesty,
You want to show some initiative.
You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted
it's not inclusion, it's like
I am.
Forced
outside the library
compliance.
tonight.
Yeah.
Tell no one.
Probably better description.
That was definitely one of those moments of
Sebastian. I'll meet you
you're
later.
just doing this to get this in our face. You're not doing this for any actual good cause.
But also, Boto, I don't want them to just give us Galactus or Doom. I want them to build it up properly. Like, you have to look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe now as a television show. It's not a movie or a movie, like one movie. It's fucking like 45 fucking movies. It's 45 episodes of television at this point. So you kind of have to treat it as such when they want to introduce a character.
And those annoying prefects would love
and they want to
nothing
build
more
that
than
character
to rat
up.
on
You
us
can't
to
just
Scribner.
show
So don't
him
let
in one
them see
movie and
us.
kill him in one movie.
Understood?
That's been
I can be
detrimental to
sneaky.
them in
Let's
the
go.
past.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The
Killmonger.
disillusionment charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak.
Something
but
like
those are
that.
expensive. And
Don't trust
spells,
me.
spells are free.
Ask my
Give
uncle,
it a
John
try.
Cena.
You look like
No one's seen him in years.
I am a superhero. Oh shit! Crimson Tide! Watch out for the Crimson Tide! Yeah, you're good.
Thing is, like,
Hey,
Cody,
imagine this just breaks your arm.
I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if you played the game or not for Last of Us, but I found it to be one of the better adaptations. As long as you enjoy what's putting out.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the little like demo thing of the invisibility thing. Where it's like, I'm visible, but your clothes are still there. So it's like, oh look, that's a floating robe. Ooh, spooky.
But you gotta get naked to go invisible.
Guess so. Oh yeah, when you do it, it's an invisibility spell. When it's me, I'm arrested and detained and putting on a list.
How do I put it as
Conduct.
part of my
Oh god, but no, good time. Like I said, decent movie. I would recommend it depending on what people thought of. If you weren't huge on the Ant-Man movies, I'd say wait until it comes out on Disney Plus. If you liked them, go see it in theaters. Oh yeah, this kind of goes without saying. I saw it in IMAX visually. Fucking duh.
I mean, me personally, pretty much everything Marvel does is going to be a Disney Plus watch for me.
I figured.
Yeah.
Because I have no faith in them pulling off a 9 or 10.
You don't want to see Kang Dynasty in theater? Actually, no.
I mean, if it was free, I'd go, but otherwise, no. It'll be on fucking Disney Plus in 2 months anyway, so. But I also feel like at this point, like I said, I feel like I'm watching a television show, and each thing is like a different episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what
everything
the fuck?
is
Your clothes
like,
are invisible now too.
I mean, they do what most movies don't do, and they spend half the fucking movie setting up the next movie. So how is that not a TV show?
Yeah.
All right, now it's time to spoil everything. So, who dies?
Ant-Man kills himself. I don't know.
So, there's 5 members of the Ant-Man family, right? There's Hank Pym, Janet, Hope, Cassie, and Scott.
I hope they all die.
I was kind of gonna say that. Spoiler alert. You ready? You want me to tell you who dies?
Still here. Quick, behind the
Somebody
bookcase.
dies in this movie?
Yeah.
Is it Hank Pym?
No.
You told me the librarian would be
Is
gone
it
by now.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
I said
No.
usually. But
Is
it'll
it
still be alright. Do you
Hope?
see her desk behind me?
What?
I
The
don't know.
key
Hope?
is in the drawer of
No.
that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to
I don't
draw
know
her
who's
away.
left.
You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted
Ghost?
section.
No.
You distract, I get the key. Understood.
I said I'd get you in, and I
So
always
nobody
keep my
dies.
word. Trust me.
No one on the Ant family side dies.
Side is there.
The villains.
Kang
Load
dies?
up.
I heard 2 answers at once. What?
Kang? Isn't he like a million different people? So
Is someone there?
Mm-hmm.
he's already
a few
died,
leaves.
technically.
Mm-hmm. Remember what I said about
Key. Here it
shit's
is.
gonna get complicated to follow?
Yeah.
As long as every time he comes back, he's like slightly different and slightly worse.
Oh, the end credit scene will make you very happy then.
Good. Comes
All right,
back just as the
fuck it,
Fresh Prince
fuck
of
it.
Bel-Air.
I'm gonna spoil the end credit scene. The end credit scenes for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, y'all been fucking warned. Ready?
No,
That
I'm
wasn't
ready.
so difficult after
10,
all.
9,
Now, to find
8,
that book.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, one of the end credit scenes is we see 3
that one's charmed to look more useful than it
versions
is.
of Kang
It's fooled
talking
me
to,
twice.
to themselves.
Never judge a tone by its cover.
Which,
I say.
if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the third one, but I know one is Immortus and the other is Ramatut, which are their variants of Kang throughout different areas of timeline. And they're basically talking to each other about something going on, and one of them says to the other, "How many of us did you contact?" And he said, "All of us." And they said, "If they're going to be a problem, then we need to step it up." And it literally pans back to a fucking
Ghost,
stadium filled with Kangs.
So, wouldn't there be an infinite amount of Kangs?
More or less, yeah. But there's literally like hundreds, if not thousands of them in
But wouldn't
that
there
shot.
be quadrillions of them?
Mm-hmm. No, you were right with Infinite.
Man, it's
Sure,
just,
wander in the restricted section at this hour.
honestly, it's like anybody that's just a fan of like movies is gonna be like,
You were caught!
This is getting stupid. In my
Second-
mind,
The
Like,
second,
it's just too much.
the
man.
second end credit scene is actually more intriguing because it takes place in what looks like the 1920s, and there's clearly a variant of Kang doing what looks like some sort of like World Fair presentation in front of people about time. And so you don't know it's him until like the lights come on and it's him. He's like, what if we could control time? And then it pans to the crowd, and in the crowd is
Another Kang.
Loki. And he's scared, and he goes, that's him. And Morbius is next to him and says, really? The way you described it sounded like a terrifying monster of a person. And Loki looks back at him scared. He goes, he is.
It's Morbin time?
Yeah. Did I get the name wrong? Shit, not Morbius.
MODOK?
No.
Mobius.
Mobius. Jesus.
Drop the R, the hard R.
Yeah, sorry. I knew it was close.
Morbius is here?
Yeah, sorry. Mobius. God damn it. Yeah, so he's talking to and he goes, that's him, and Mobius goes, really? The way you described it sounds like a horrible monster of a man. He's like, he is. And it cuts.
Cool.
I'll be quieter than a jobberknoll.
Honestly, me personally, I'm not on board for the fucking multiverse wildness.
Mm-hmm.
It waters down any storyline you're ever gonna tell when there's a trillion of everybody.
It makes me wonder if they're gonna split their attention.
They need to streamline and kill 99.99% of everybody else.
Well, what I'm thinking now is what if it's a situation where they're like, you have your Guardians 3 and a couple of other movies where you might wrap up some shit, but there's probably gonna be two storylines going on at once. Two stories going on at once with your street tier level heroes and then the multiverse shit that's going on. And then
if it was me, I'd do the multiverse. I'd let the multiverse play out because it's already there. But the end game would be the world we know and the world we don't know being the only two worlds that survive multiverse of fucking madness. And have the world we don't know be the X-Men universe world, and have the world we know be the one that we fucking existed with all the superheroes up to this point. So it needs to cut down on the fact that anybody could die, but there's a billion, trillion, gajillion of the same person everywhere else.
Yeah, and that's where
to help my twin sister.
What I was saying to you about the idea of great villain, but
because Merlin knows everyone.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass keeping track of shit. That's kind of what I'm referring to. Where it's ooh, that's
intriguing. In my mind, all I think of is plot holes.
We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's.
If anything, this is kind of like a retcon situation where it's a golden writing ticket.
Let's focus on
it's not.
Which is what?
It's
precisely
super lazy writing.
I'll
is
know
what it's
it when I
gonna
see
be.
it.
Yes.
Just like the comic books became, because it's I want to tell my own version of this character. It's gonna be the laziest writing known to mankind. They're already lazy as fuck in every movie I've seen in the last 2 years.
Well, so, they said they're slowing down production on a lot of stuff, which is good. So they're focusing on quality over quantity, which thank fucking Christ. So I'm glad that they're slowing down. Because I think
feel a lot of that is the backlash for the visual effects, not the writing.
Hey, listen, I'll take my victories wherever I fucking can.
They did bring back the Infinity Stones. They meant nothing in Loki. Everybody had them as fucking paperweights.
Yeah, Paul. They already kind of they
threw that man under the bus. Don't worry. If you've seen What If, ooh man, they destroyed Thanos in the head.
Okay.
The undoing of Marvel is what they're gonna do to the characters that kind of prop them up, and it's so weird now that their new characters need to tear down their old characters to be anything. I don't understand the mindset and their writing choices to be in order to have She-Hulk, we have to belittle Hulk. In order to have Kate Bishop, we have to fucking turn Hawkeye into a geriatric.
Friend, out exploring where
This
they
guy is a
shouldn't
fucking
be.
creep.
Naughty, naughty.
I love him.
You'll
What the
get
fuck?
caughty.
Peeves, don't
I'm
you...
going to tell. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least
I'm
get to
telling
the
you right
librarian
now,
with a
I
good
want the
excuse
Fast and
for
the
all of
Furious
this.
franchise and Transformers to become one.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Wait, I don't want
needs
you
to
getting
happen.
into trouble for me.
I have a way
this
with the
point in
faculty
time,
when it
why
comes
not?
to disciplinary matters.
Yeah.
Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good
That
luck
does
in your
not
search.
sound like a friend.
Now, where's that damned poltergeist got to?
Well, you know he's a bad guy because he's Slytherin.
I know just the
Yeah.
spell to repair this armor. Repair it.
Reparo! I would have never guessed.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know.
Jumper
What if
attire.
I think was fucking terrible. Me personally, Loki I enjoyed, but what if? Oh man, it's like
That was terrible.
Revelio.
a lot of what they did. Why I say it's terrible? It's just like it's such a missed opportunity.
Oh God, yes.
The first episode to me was like, what if we just watched Captain America again,
course.
except it was
Faces of
his
ancient
wife.
Magic.
Well, like I told you, my biggest thing
Must
was
be
like
more to this room.
if it was just random like little one-off episodes, fine, cool. I can take with like the idea of like let's glimpse into the multiverse and but they fucking between the
Doctor
old
Strange one was probably the best.
oh
what
hands
they did
down
with him.
that was the best one, but like between the Ultron shit and then the fact that they had to tie it all together, it's like fuck off. No, I
You
don't.
know, I'm not against it if they could do it right, but they didn't do it right at all.
Of course they didn't fucking do it right.
They just like shoehorned it in, and like I like the idea of like what if zombies, but they didn't.
Where
They
might
did that
this
terrible
lead?
too. It's just like man, there's like an easy story to tell with zombies, and it's not. I don't know why you wouldn't just turn like fucking the physically strong people zombies and have them deal with them. Hulk as a zombie is much more intimidating than Captain America. I don't know. Just seemed like a wrong choice.
America.
I only got into Fast and Furious movies because my mom was watching them on TV. There was really nothing else. You know, Fast and Furious is it's like I give more of a pass to Fast and the
need to
Furious
wake up
because
that
they just
Reno there.
outright they come out and they tell you this is gonna be dumb as shit. They don't hide under the fact that it could be good, it could be intelligent in some way. No, it's dumb as shit.
Incendio.
I haven't seen the new one
Lumos.
because as soon as I heard they go to space, I was like,
I wonder if I can hit the room
everybody
with
was
a
laughing.
What, Fast and the
going to
Furious?
Space. Yeah. The Fast and Furious 9, I never saw it.
Hey, you know what makes more sense than cars?
Levioso.
Space.
Cars in space.
Oh.
Space cars? No. That would imply
Oh,
that
God.
cars could fly in space. Oh Jesus. I'm talking about let's just take the same let's take the same cars that we see on Earth. However,
I mean, it's a ridiculous concept, and
the
they
whole
know.
thing is like
But
okay.
the thing is, like, they know they're doing something ridiculous. Like they're feeding into the ridiculous
Yeah.
aspect of it.
And for the record,
Gods
I'm
at
not
the ready.
bashing people who like it. What I'm making fun of the fact is, and this is again an outsider knowing nothing about the franchise. That's a waste of a vase. Is oh my god.
Nobody will ever be able to convince me like it's good cinema, but it is mindless popcorn retardation fun.
Yeah.
But that's how it's presented,
Family.
and that's why I can accept it.
Like yeah, Jesus. Like you walk
got
into the movie
knocked
knowing
down
what it is.
first. Jesus.
Yeah.
This is not.
It's like going to watch Austin Powers and being like, well, why isn't it Schindler's List? You know,
can
like
someone explain to me why Fast 5 and Fast 10 did not get a Academy Award nomination?
I hate the
Jeez.
triangle.
Movies are all the fucking same anyway. Family, drink a Corona. Someone betrayed us. It's a new person that's also a very like known
Jason
celebrity.
Statham.
Yeah.
Roy, I'm gonna get him. No, right.
You were the bad guy next movie. I am good now.
$900 reduce.
And
13. Yeah. And Yeah, I don't hate the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's just that
it's like a hilarious to me.
Jesus Christ!
Off
It's like the fucking franchise that will never
it started off as Point Break and turned into Marvel.
Break my point.
Everybody's superhuman.
Yeah. You're not fucking wrong.
It's so terrible. Physics? What are physics? Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, I saw the trailer for Fast X in the fucking.
Oh my god, the helicopter thing was ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what's funny? I never watched the full trailer in its entirety until I literally was forced to sit down and watch the trailer in its entirety. And yeah, the helicopter part where he launches out of there, I'm like, it was with Tim, and Tim and I were fucking bursting out laughing. And we're just like,
that's
what
how that works. How heavy is his fucking car? 12,000 pounds?
Let me get this straight. So I just said this in my head. I'm like, let me get this straight. He flies out of an aircraft, like some sort of aircraft.
Body slams other cars.
Body slams 2 other cars. He gets hooked by aircraft.
Hey, he hits the NOS button, and somehow that makes him 12,000 pounds.
Yeah, what the fuck? Did he just control his mass?
And also, the helicopters became tiny. Like one-man helicopters. I was like, God, this is fucking stupid as shit, but whatever. And all of a sudden, John Cena comes up with tubes on the side of his car. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
So anyway, I got tickets opening night.
Same. It's so ridiculous. I mean,
oh my god, why is it?
I looked at the trailer. I'm like, oh my god, Vin Diesel looks like a fucking. The guy looks about 90 years old, but he's got he's airbrushed to fucking shit.
Go, jump!
Oh shit!
Vin Diesel looks like a peanut with muscles.
I can't imagine what Vin Petrol would look like.
But to where?
He's not allowed. I'm a crisis.
Oh god.
The girl getting railed on the coach next to him. I did see that, yeah. I was like, so this is life now. When music and porn meet.
That's usually how it goes. What's up, Rachel?
Resident Evil.
Let's keep my wits about me.
Which, the game, maybe, but not the fucking.
Not the movies or the shows.
In what way is it like the? First of all, the movies, because.
Oh God.
Good Lord. I don't think you watched the Resident Evil movies. I'm gonna super kick a dog.
Right.
I guess I can see the game with the idea of the infected being closer to the T-virus type thing. Even though it's not really, but I see it more of a link to that than The Walking Dead. Personally.
Oh.
Got this.
Oh god.
Oh, what's this? Global warming? No!
Incendio.
Damn you. So got your own feet there. I hit triangle. What are you talking about?
Hit triangle A. Shit.
I almost dead.
What's power?
Ah.
That comes out of their mouths. Well, I mean, in Resident Evil, they're just straight up zombies. You just bite you and you get infected. This is like a mushroom fungus. Mushroom fungus!
Oh, get caught up.
Oh, god damn you.
Yeah, I
I
went to the
died.
new one, Rayshon, the new Dead Space. I couldn't finish the original one. I couldn't even play past like 20 minutes because I shit my pants as a kid.
Mush fungus. You get caught up in the mush fungus.
My Xbox 360 killed itself. Red ring.
Oh god. I don't miss those days. Oh, you know what? I do miss those days. I just don't miss the red ring days.
Yes.
It was like a total fuck job, man.
Which, by the way, they finally actually revealed. I don't know if you guys knew this, but they actually finally came out and said like, "Oh, this is why it does it."
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, if you got the red ring, you can send it back to us and we'll repair it or replace it." After I had opened it and fucking cut the warranty seal because they took a year to say that. Fucking jackasses. I like the shit on Bill Gates' face.
Oh yeah, Bodo. I'm a big fan of Gears of War.
Connor, we still have like 3 of them to play. Okay. We still have to play 3 of them.
Oh god, I think like, just one-on-one games that either me and Basement and me or Heather have played. Just like 2 of us, like together total. I think that was probably my most fucking fun. Mostly because I kept horribly fucking up and just making me like we caught you with this spike in your shoulder. Your journey has ended.
I'm done.
You're not going to heaven because you're a wizard.
Welcome to hell.
First class trip. You shall not pass.
Bombs over Baghdad.
Oh, fucking hell.
Can you use other spells on them, or just the attack ones? Can you make them float?
I can, but...
They all float down here. Oh god, 4!
Fatal 4-way.
Speaking of which, SmackDown. HDGM mode. No. Segue into self-promotion.
Yeah.
I've got some changes. NXT.
Yes. Related.
We're going to publicly execute their boobs.
No! I'll take it.
Hi, Josh. All up on you. I actually really like Bioshock, Rayshon, but did you try to play it when it came out, or were you like late to the party?
I want a rematch between Boogs and Strowman for the number 30 spot.
No, it's not gonna happen.
It is Hurts after all.
I honored you.
It's not gonna happen because Boogs.
I gotta believe in honor.
Boogs isn't getting the number 30
Got
spot.
nothing else with
You said he was.
I did, but I reneged.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still for the right to have the brand have the number 30 spot.
Boogs is busy in other matters.
Is he? What's he doing?
Fighting for the championship.
Oh, wait, what?
Triple threat, baby!
All right, fine.
Boogs
Then
is relinquishing the 30 spot to join Brock Lesnar and Matt Riddle in a triple threat for the championship at the Royal Rumble.
If he fucking wins the belt back, I will laugh so fucking hard.
Very possible. It's going to be an elimination match, so you better create that.
Ah!
I have no idea what I'm doing for my
Fine,
card.
I challenge
Actually, I
you
do have my card.
You can choose any NXT person you want. Doesn't matter if it's Boogs or even like fuck. You can have it be a champion. But I challenge Basement to regain my number 30 spot in the Rumble. To a match, I'll put Strowman from SmackDown against any NXT person you want.
What do I get?
I mean, what do you get?
What do I get?
If you win?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm putting everything on the line.
I have an idea. Wait, I didn't get shit when I didn't win anything or have anything.
Well, there were things on the line.
Fine. I have a contracted wrestler that I will give you.
And that wrestler is Demi.
What? Yeah. It's the one we've talked about.
Oh, you saved Tiny Tim. Oh, okay.
This is I'm in the pensive right now.
Okay.
Basement DP.
Okay.
Get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's fine. I'll give you a certain superstar if I lose.
Okay. Let me look at my roster and find someone that nobody can beat.
But if you want to do it, since you came to my house on SmackDown, we can do it on NXT
You
this
wanted
week.
to see me?
Yeah, I've got
I
an
had
open
Mistress Fitzgerald,
match.
Professor Rackham.
Miss
We're just gonna be watching
Isadora
all of my
Morgana.
fucking
Welcome.
All
Professor
5
Rookwood,
matches.
Professor Bacall.
4 to 5.
We understand
3:30 in the fucking morning.
I am.
Now time for superstars.
Especially in light of your unusual
Her name is
situation,
what
starting
the
as a
fuck?
fifth
Her
year.
name is
No,
Name?
it's-
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts
That's
as a
true, yeah.
fifth year.
Name is
I've
name.
never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganock, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the
You can be bad.
beautiful
Photo.
swirls you
Be
saw
bad boy.
years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we have never known of another who could.
Her name is
I
Name.
don't understand. What are they?
The
Manima,
whispers or
Manima.
traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic.
Few are
Who is this
capable
person?
of wielding
What's
it.
going on?
This is the little
Hogwarts
girl that
itself
was
is a
standing in front of the
stronghold
well.
of ancient magic.
Doesn't help we've been talking
So
we
if
were
I
talking
can
Marvel for
see
like 2
traces of
hours
ancient
and not
magic,
paying
does that
attention
mean I
to
can
anything in
wield
the
it
fucking
too?
game.
I blame
With
you.
the proper training.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let us not get
See, my-
ahead of
see my
Conversations
avatar.
have
It's in
been
your
wild
name.
tonight.
My avatar. Yeah,
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
It sure did, Cody. It
A
sure
magic
did.
this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be
We
wielded
haven't
by a
watched it yet,
select
Cody,
few.
so please. No spoilers.
Essentially ask that
Spoil
you
the
not
shit out of
speak to
everything.
anyone
What the
about
fuck's
we
going
discussed today.
on? Oh, damn it. Hold on.
I watched it.
Yeah, JP and I haven't yet.
You did watch it. What are you talking about? It was on episode 1.
Oh. That's what the game did, so.
Yeah, I don't think you played the game.
Why are you just walking willy-nilly through the fucking...
Sneaking in the restricted section again!
The character's such
I
a
had
weird
thought
vibe.
we
I
were
got a
through
big
with
question
this
about the
mischief.
ghosts in
Clearly
Hogwarts. Can they just
detentions are
watch you
insufficient.
masturbate randomly?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid
Hence
I
Moaning
must
Myrtle.
take this
Good.
today.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I got to
But
hop on. My
that
little one
being
just woke up and she's not
Jeeves
feeling too
informs me that
perky.
you
I think she had a
didn't come alone.
Niat Miere, so I gotta go take care of her.
If
But
someone has coerced
GMO
you,
tomorrow.
I would
You
have
guys
you
all up for
tell
that?
me.
And tomorrow. Let's do it, baby.
Send me a
You're a
cads.
bright boy.
I will. Actually, I'll
Don't
talk to you tomorrow
waste this.
Okay.
Yeah.
about what we're doing, because I'm kind of confused.
There was nobody else.
All right, you guys have a good
I
night. I'll
can't
talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, good night.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
The only thing that bothers me is 20 years in the future, and there's so many humans still. Actually, there's very little humans alive, considering there were billions. And Boto, just need to, in order to, I guess, prove that point, the QZ that they show. I don't know how far you got, but the QZ that they show, well, I don't want to spoil anything. Even the QC that they're in Boston is pretty fucking small compared to what the city was, and they don't really show a lot of people that are roving through the world.
Streets, even.
Yeah.
They're definitely showing a lot more infected than they are regular.
I mean, the bottom line is this. The show's called The Last of Us, so it's. They never explicitly say, but I think the population that's left is probably 10% of what was originally there.
It's got to be around somewhere around there.
It's pretty low because even in the game, people are few and far between, and when they are and they have they have numbers. The numbers aren't like U.S. Army numbers. It's like,
Right.
oh, they might have 1,000 people or 2,000 people.
Yeah, which is, they're doing a fantastic job of making it feel like that.
But this is the one thing I never got about like a lot of these fucking like movies and shows that want to be like, we're gonna be post-apocalyptic. It's like, well, does the world look post-apocalyptic? No, well then you failed.
Exactly.
Heather chose Ravenclaw, right?
Yes. Well, I was sorted into Ravenclaw.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood makes no sense.
It is
I
rather
do like
unorthodox,
mushrooms
to
and
say the
Italian
least.
sausage on my pizza.
Unorthodox. It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Is Professor Sharp supposed to be Professor
Sir,
Snape?
I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
This is 3 out of 4 of the
What?
main quests.
That's... Wait.
Like, we're going to be
You
doing the
access the
Harry Potter
restricted section?
roundtable, and I know
But
that
how?
there's a website
Thinking
that
on
like
it, perhaps
starts
it's
you
best
into a
spare
house.
me the details.
I
Fair
will
enough.
be curious to see
In
what
fact,
house I'm
the
in.
book was below the restricted
When
section,
that time
as it appeared on the map.
It's wizardingworld.com, I believe it is.
First, let's
You
have
go
a
in there, you find out your house, your Patronus, and your
Wand, your wand.
Yeah, you can get your wand.
That'll be interesting to see what we all end up with. I know you've done it, but I haven't
dear.
done it, and I'm pretty sure Connor hasn't done it, and I'm
pages seem to be
pretty sure
missing.
JP hasn't done it. So
No,
It
he is
appears
not.
Someone has got to
I
pop
will
up
say,
before us.
it is extremely immersive.
Still,
Like,
I
for the
will need
Patronus,
time
you're
to
actually
study
running
what
through the Black
remains.
Forest, and you have to like
Perhaps we
quickly
can
and
still salvage
instinctively
something useful.
answer
It may take some
questions,
time.
and that gets you your
I
Patronus.
wonder
which is
why it was here. Below
beautiful to me.
Hogwarts.
man, whatever house I'm sorted into, I'm
saw two
immediately
more
going
memories
online
where I found
and
the
buying a
book.
T-shirt from that fucking
Another
house.
pensive.
I'll wear it every time
Godric's
we watch
heart.
these fucking
The
stupid
man we
movies.
saw before,
You know,
Percival
they're
Rackham,
not stupid,
was a
actually.
professor here.
Yeah, I know.
The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
In the
This guy looks
second, they
like
were
a rat.
talking to a
He
student who
does.
started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
I don't know
Why
why she
those
keeps standing
memories?
like this.
Perhaps this book will explain. Now I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
But I think it's just like
I
when they
understand.
show a quarantine zone.
I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
There's going to be
Good.
a certain amount of people together.
Don't neglect your
But
studies.
when
Your
they
wand
leave
work is
that,
improving
you
by
don't
the
see
day.
fucking shit.
But
shit
you'll
half
want
the
to pay
time.
attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty
As
to
I've
keep me
been told
occupied while
multiple
you're gone.
times.
You've done
Professor.
exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return.
You are
Oh,
the best
and
there
don't
ever
neglect your
was. Ever will
friends.
be.
You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
Okay.
I mean, even in the like first episode where they show the quarantine zone, it looks like, I guess, like on a personal level, it looks big, but like compared to like what Boston would have been, they even show like the destruction around the quarantine
and see
zone.
if we've a new school champion. Meet me at the usual place for the final round of crossed wands. Also, the training dummy is still available.
Ah, dueling.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Huh. That seems pressing, so we will go there. Dueling is fun, but
Killer.
this is the world map. Most of the map is covered by fog, limiting what you can see. Hamlets are small communities throughout the world.
So like in the game, I guess it's like the government that exists is like
Professor Fig and Weasley have
like
asked that
the
I
ruling
teach you
type
an
is
additional
it's
defensive
Hitler-esque.
spell. Please complete the assignments
It's become like in The
and
Last
then
of Us, the
proceed to
government
see
that's
me
still
in my
around, Fedra, is like martial law, but they're also not being governed by like a higher body. they just are a portion of the government that's left there. So whatever rules they have in place are the rules they have in place. And it's weird because like the show is showing that some of the Fedra units that took control of the QZ, some of them are like relatively closer to like
How nice to see you, my young friend.
I guess okay militaristic, and other ones are like terrible and doing terrible things. There's just no world government or no like national government. So
yeah,
Fedra has like the resources to stay in control to small areas.
I think they even mentioned that there's not even like a real president in place either.
No, there's no world government. There's no national government. There's no government outside. Like the Fedra in like Boston isn't the same as the Fedra in Kansas City.
Right.
It's just like they ended up in charge. So like they're basically like a guerrilla group.
Yeah. That
controls because they have the means to control, and they were put in control before like the collapse of society.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I noticed: people who chose Gryffindor House, the Weasley student, had blonde hair. You know what? If I had to guess what house I'd be in, honestly, I'm gonna go fucking Hufflepuff. Even though I hate the way they sound, their ideals kind of line up with mine. So.
Yeah, you would fit well in that house. You would also do good in you would also do good in Gryffindor.
How wonderful it is to see you
just
again,
the fact
Lenora,
that
dear. Oh, here.
you're headstrong
We'll need
in
these
some
for
ways,
today's
but
class.
not to the point that it's gonna compromise yourself.
A little treat for your
I'm
auntie.
gonna end up in one of those two. Watch me do it, and I end up in Slytherin.
Uh-huh.
I'll take that too. Fuck it.
Class, please
I
welcome
mean,
the
I've
newest
taken
rose in our
tests more than
garden.
once, and I end up in
We
either
do look
Ravenclaw
forward to
or
growing
Gryffindor.
together.
Yeah, I think there's always like a chance for
How
a lot of
thrilling
people
it
to
is
end
to
up in
have everyone
Gryffindor.
back together again.
But I don't want to like go into.
This
I'm gonna
year
go
will be
into it
filled with
answering
enchantments
honestly
and
instead of like
excitement,
answering to
but
gear
the most
towards where I want to
important
be.
thing cultivated in herbology
yeah, it does.
is knowledge.
It's just done way better.
Prudent herbologist is no more
It's
afraid
done
of the
so much
venomous
better, yeah.
tentacular than the
It's just
bouncing
like the
bomb.
people are a bit more realistic.
The fear is more realistic.
Today we will be
Yeah.
acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake
teacher?
root. Accio.
'Cause she looks about 12 years old.
She's the
Let's see if
teacher.
we can't make our
That's
fibrous friends
Professor
a bit more
Garlic.
comfortable, shall we?
No man, Professor
First,
Garlic.
let's
could
protect
get
our
it.
ears.
Not gonna lie. I mean, that's a really bad sentence to say after I said she looks 12 years old. But
Now, everyone, grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug.
cry for me, baby.
Oh my.
Quickly! Place your mandrake in the new pot and pat down the soil!
Wouldn't you think you might not want to do them all at once?
Right.
Like,
But they are wizards, so they can fix the greenhouse.
The soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease.
Envelop me, girl. Envelop me.
Reparo!
I'm 7.
I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone.
That's it for herbology class?
Mm-hmm.
Now for our next task, we'll be planting dittany at
Yeah,
our
like
potting tables.
the Walking
You
Dead.
can
I
all
read the
get
comics for the
started.
Walking Dead
I need
too,
to have a
and
brief
they
word.
pretty much
I wonder
stand
if hippogriffs
somewhat
like
true to them.
Hogwarts.
But it's like the Walking Dead is
Yes,
quite
Professor?
over the top
Firstly,
with like
well
character
done with your
portrayal.
mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp
It's loosely grounded in reality.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm.
I know you were
Kind
saying
of
like in The Sims.
It seems you're already
but
taking to
I will
herbology
take
like a
in the
mandrake
song.
to fresh soil.
Like a knockoff.
Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us
In The
find you some
Sims.
seeds.
I already have some,
Like
Professor.
a
Picked
Russian
them up in
version of The
Hogsmeade.
Sims.
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful. A prepared student is bound to bloom.
She looks like a
I've
student.
arranged
there.
for you
It's
to
gonna
have
be-
your
I know
own
she
potting
does.
table here in the
It's
classroom.
throwing me off
It wasn't
here.
easy to spare
Yeah.
one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, They will take time to grow.
Let's see, how to balance my star Niffler's fancy, or roses.
Killer,
This
steal all our
year's
fucking
restorative
mandrakes.
properties make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion, as you all should know from Professor Sharp's class.
Oh, he
The
must be
best time to
potions.
plant a seed is last season. The second best
Oh,
time
he is
is
Snape.
now.
What did Snape fucking do before he was potions, right? Wasn't he before? What the fuck was he before he was
He
Dark
was
Arts?
potions, yeah.
Yeah, he's Snape. Snape.
Ready in 9 minutes. Okay.
Disney.
Well done! Once it can be harvested, your Dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp tell you about that.
Yep.
Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora.
Yeah.
The Chinese
Oh, God.
chomping
You're
cabbage.
shoving everything down my
Find
throat
that
right
some
now.
plants are better
Why don't we
suited to
branch
uses
out?
outside of a cauldron.
Yes.
The cabbages do get testy without something to chew.
It's Pippi
Fortunately,
Longstocking.
I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Be a dear and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor. They're
She
in the other
sounds like
greenhouse.
she's yelling
It's
at
just
me
at
at
the
the
end of
same
the
time that
footbridge
she's
leading
trying
out
to
of
be
this
so
room.
enthusiastic.
Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you. Come back and see me when you're finished. Oh, and mind your fingers. They do bite.
He just teleported.
Hello. Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing you the Chinese chomping cabbages.
Stepping on bugs.
Up these stairs will take us there. But your lead.
I lead, alright. Fucking let's go.
Nice work in
What are you-
defense
what are you
against the
supposed
dark
to do?
arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
I'm supposed
Your
to
duel with Sebastian. And he's good.
give
Thinks
the
he's really good. But you outright
chomping
slaughtered him.
cabbages
It
a
was
dummy
brilliant.
to chew on.
Oh.
Here we are. Home of
you
the
feed that
Chinese
kid to
chomping
him.
cabbage. Go on. Grab a few of those cabbages. Just mind your fingers. I almost lost a thumb once. Don't worry. Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it. And they'll do the rest.
Did he just say toss the cabbage at the bitch?
At the, Alright. What now?
Toss the cabbage. Let me toss your cabbage, girl. Gross.
I gotta...
Whoa, shit!
Jesus
Some
Christ!
They can get their mouths on.
No, it's dead.
Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the de-gnoming, but they left her honking daffodils in
Yeah.
tatters.
Fucking minions.
Vicious
Yeah!
little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid boober tubers and bouncing bulbs.
It is
The kind of
called
plants
boober
you'd have your back in
tubers!
a fight.
Oh my god!
Not saying you can't go it alone, but, well, imagine that wasn't a
Put me
dummy.
on the boob tube. I'm screaming later tonight.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
How do
It's
your
chaos out
glasses
there.
stay on your head?
Trolls in Hogsmeade
I
and
don't
such.
know.
You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we
It looks more
probably
like
ought to
a
head back to
Weasley
class.
than a Pruitt.
Yeah, well, he's
Take
100%
your time.
Weasley.
I'll see you back in class.
Cover.
And pick up the ones I threw already? No.
Why don't they attack you?
I don't know.
They're like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Tossing
Rebellion.
cabbage. Oh, what was that?
Kidney leaves. Mallow sweet leaves. Okay. Building up quick the herbology library here.
Give me them herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Give me them herbs.
With that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves, I shall end our lesson here.
Not ready.
Terribly sorry, Mr. Clopton.
I attended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
The way you look
Remarkable
is-
plants, aren't they? I hope they
do
weren't
it
too
for me.
much trouble. Oh, I don't see any bite marks or missing digits.
I never watched Z Nation.
And
All I
good,
knew was
as you
like
do seem
a.
to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill
guess
in the
like
soil
a
continue
fucking-
to blossom.
more ridiculous version of The Walking Dead. There's like
Magical
a
plants
B
have so
movie
much to
version of
offer.
The Walking Dead.
I'm eager to learn
Oh,
more.
Which
I'm
could
not
be, which
surprised.
could be fun.
Herbology
I guess,
is a
you know.
bounteous subject.
I watched Ash
Tend
vs.
to your
Evil Dead,
garden,
and that was kind
and
of
it will tend to
that
you.
way. That was fun.
Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
How are you a teacher?
I don't know.
You're 12.
Those mandrakes are really relishing their new pots.
I should think, Professor Guy. Make anything grow, we must first understand it. That goes for...
I do wonder about Professor Fig. He's hardly ever in his classroom. Most strange.
He's dead.
Did you know that you can use the mandrake to defend yourself? Why, the very idea.
Out of the way.
What are you up to now?
What do you think I'm up to? No good.
It was taking a shit over there.
What are you? Potions class. Yes. Let's go there.
Alright, I'm down for a potions class, but then I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I was gonna end it right there after that. We are just about at the 2-hour mark.
Sleep. It's starting to impact me. Basically. God damn, even like the little naps, I just need to fucking...
Yeah. I mean, I'm
keep,
sure I'm
like,
gonna be
every
napping
time
on and off tomorrow.
I don't know, the last like 4 days I've gone to bed. It's like I'll get like 2 hours sleep and then I'll wake up with fucking like dreams and nightmares. And then go back to sleep. Everything is like 2-hour increments and I never get like full sleep. It's fucking destroying me, man. I need knockout retard sleep.
Uh-huh.
It refuses to come.
Pick up. Memorandum, 31st of December, 1875. Alright, so we are way back. Roar office, Borgin and Burks. Borgin and Burks has had an increased amount of activity outside of ordinary shop hours, particularly in the wee hours of the night, with suspicious deliveries being made to the shop's back entrance. Given what we know of the shop's reputation, we are adding more Aurors to join those that have already been watching the shop. You are amongst the new additions. Further instruction to Pato.
Hey, Boto, here in Ontario, Canada, ice has taken over everything. So you're not alone there. Like the coating of ice on everything outside.
Hello.
I'm surprised I still have internet, to be honest.
Alright.
You know what? I was interested in watching Helsing. Let me know if it's good.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As 5th years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan-Weld potion.
Guy looks like he's got AIDS.
Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wiggenweld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some
Good,
injuries.
because I'm about to injure you. Amongst officers beating
Points for Ravenclaw.
I'm at
Before
Dakar.
today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a
Nice.
Wiggenweld
Handicap.
potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin.
Why are you injured if you knew how to brew it?
Right? Well, it did say it cures some injuries, not all.
No, well, he's got like a scar on his head. He's all fucked
Use
up.
a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients.
What kind of gloves do you have?
They're dueling gloves.
Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous.
Sneeze. Kill everybody in the room. My bad. Game over. Ladle. Yeah, you stir that shit. I don't know if I'd use a ladle to stir.
Yeah, it's so
But,
weird.
You know, teach your own, I guess. This guy's real good.
I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir.
Get your ladles.
Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, You'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippin's, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain.
And if you meet
and
me
will
in the
require
back
you to be
alley,
a bit more
I'll sell you a couple of
resourceful. Come see me when you've finished brewing.
This fucking dirtbag.
And we'll see if it was skill or luck
Thanks,
the
Boto.
first
You have
time
a
round.
good time, man.
Alright. Go to his office.
My parents considered keeping me home from school this year after the...
My
Did I
parents
hear Professor
considered
Sharp say that you had
euthanasia.
permission to go into his office?
Ah, Gareth Weasley.
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented
hair
with
is
an
fucking
extraordinary opportunity. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you
Your
related to
character
Professor
looks
Weasley?
ill.
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. But she can't be everywhere. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular. I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
Let me take
I
pictures of you
suspect
naked
that's
in the
where
alleyway.
I'm in.
It's the
As
last
clever as I'd
ingredient.
hoped. I simply need a single Fwooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's
What
office
the
with
fuck
his
is a
permission,
Fwooper?
perhaps you could grab it for
I
me.
don't know. No, let's fuck it.
I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it.
I assure you he won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Wait until you see what I'm brewing. Hurry back to me when you have the feather.
Okay.
I don't trust him.
I don't either, but I need mongrel fur,
Yeah, why not?
ashwinder eggs,
Massive testicles. Take them.
giant purple feather.
Wow, look at the fucking king's face. It was a pink owl.
Potions.
Where?
The Fwooper. It showed
Oh.
up on the top right when you picked up the feather. It looks stupid as shit.
Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted.
Brilliant! Thank you! This is going to take a moment to brew. You should get back to brewing your
He just
Edurus
turns
potion,
around and starts
I'll tell you when
whacking
this
off.
concoction's finished.
It's gonna explode in his face, isn't it?
What happens when you whack off?
Efficiency and potions are two things that cannot be rushed. Have patience and be thorough.
What is that?
There we go. 24 seconds. Okay.
I guess you could like leave and come back. I wonder.
And
yeah.
now we add the mallow sweet, and that's odd.
Professor Sharp said that Wiggenweld potion can...
Wait, it's not supposed to. Ah!
Just got
Yeah.
fucked up.
It exploded in his face, like I thought it would.
Dragon
What happens to whack off in potions class?
Well done, Gareth.
Why we can.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again. Mr. Weasley did not do this on his own. His
You know
accomplice
what?
will
I
answer
actually
to
would
me
have
as well.
preferred if this game took you through year 1.
Yes.
I
Through
brewed
to
an
year
Edurus
5.
potion, as you asked, Professor.
I'm
And
surprised you
it's
had the
like-
time. You
It's actually
seemed rather
like
busy helping Mr.
built
Weasley
for
brew
that
chaos.
to teach you how
Yeah.
to play the game.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Professor.
You will not earn favor with me by failing to take responsibility for your actions.
I don't know what you're
suggest you
talking
heed
about,
my
Professor.
warning. As for the work
Slowly
you did today at
unbuttoning your
your
top.
own cauldron, I will say you've done well. I confess I was skeptical, given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. Pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. That'll be all.
Then explain the cauldron in the bathroom, dude.
I think
Honestly,
each of us has had enough excitement for
I actually
one
think
day.
it's like
Class is
though the
dismissed.
game is pretty impressive. I think it's a huge missed opportunity to not do year 1, 2, 3, 4. Like follow the way the movies went and give us the Triwizard Tournament, give us that stuff. Those are like that would be fucking awesome to play.
Yeah.
I hate to see a creature get.
The big story arcs that happened in the movie, which happened in the fucking books.
Revelio.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm
Instead
glad
of
that they
just
put
lumping it
keys in
all
where the
into
movie
one.
took them out, but
That was
I
an
mean, don't get me
interesting
wrong.
class.
They're like doing
Thanks to you.
a pretty good job
Wasn't
of giving you the
precisely what I had in
experience.
mind,
But the only
but
experience
still
they're giving you
brilliant.
is that of a
I appreciate
fifth
your
grader.
help. I hope
You know what I
Sharp
mean?
wasn't
Like, or fifth
too
year, whatever
disagreeable
the
when
fuck
you
it is.
handed in
Right.
your potion. Heard him talking about taking responsibility.
It had the Triwizard
Professor Sharp
Tournament.
was
You'd
annoyed,
have
but we sorted
the
it out. No harm.
Goblet of Fire.
Cheers to that. He probably had a good
which is
chuckle after
Triwizard
we left.
Tournament.
Sharp may seem gruff,
But
but
yeah.
I bet a few
Uh,
galleons he
the-
blew up a potion or two in his day. Best be off. Next time we talk, I promise. Fewer explosions.
Also, I feel like they could have put Quidditch in, but do it in like year 1, year 3, and year 5, and just take a year off in between.
yeah.
I don't know. There's just like, though it's like done a good job
robes are going
of
to
giving you the
reek from
experience.
Paris
There's just so
inspiration
much
for the
more.
rest of term.
Like, yeah,
Professor
hopefully,
Sharp
like
must have learned a lot during his
if they
time
do
as
a
an
number
Auror.
2, they do that.
I wish he talked about it more.
Don't fret if you run out of ingredients. I simply grow most of what
I
I
also
need.
can't believe that's not what they did or would do.
I
Right.
was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's
You'd be able to
question
see,
about
like,
the Wiggenweld
character
potion.
growth,
Oh,
your
thank
own
you.
and everybody
That
else.
means a lot coming from a fellow Ravenclaw. And I've never seen anyone brew such a flawless Wiggenweld potion on their first try. Well done.
I'm glad I was able to get it right the first time.
You must simply have a knack for potion making. Some students seem so confounded
She
by
don't seem
potion
to
recipes,
impress.
it's
Like,
as
dude,
if they're
I'm
written in
talking to you.
gobbledygook. A fascinating language, by the way. Neither here nor there, really, but I am a self-taught speaker. Merlin's beard, good conversation is the enemy of free time. I must return my book, Gateway to the Far Stars, before my next class. Speaking of stars, we'll be in astronomy together. You'll love it. Professor Shaw is firm, but quite clever. See you soon, no doubt.
Okay. On that, I just ran through the door. On that note, we will call it quits here, as I'm sure astrology is the next class we're going to be doing. So the quest is not here. So the next thing we're probably going to end up doing is meeting up with Natty.
Write down.
Which will probably be next Monday, to give us that breather between. Hopefully, Basement, you'll be able to finish Callisto Protocol next Thursday.
Next week I will be able to.
Okay.
My schedule will allow me to fucking stay up a bit later, which is good.
Awesome. And don't forget, as always, we have HGGM mode tomorrow. No Bucks Given makeup show, I guess you could call it, on Saturday and Sunday. If the urge fits us and we decide to go live, we'll go live. Only way you're going to know if that happens is if you're subscribed and have the notification bell selected. So we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.